I started 1099 bankers to solve three sets of problems. The first set of problems is around our customers, small to medium-sized businesses, whether they're commercial real estate companies or operating companies. We are in existence to help them navigate the financial system and optimize the debt capital or even equity that they need to take their business to the next level or achieve whatever it is that they're trying to achieve with a specific project. The second set of problems that we try to address is that over the years, I saw that many really solid bankers were just leaving the industry and taking with them a career full of networks and credit acumen, and just a general understanding of how the financial industry works. And unfortunately, that collective experience was just being unused. And I feel like there's just a huge amount of that out there that's untapped. And 1099 Bankers sort of serves as a platform to be able to connect the people that know what they're talking about in an unaffiliated way with the people who really need that assistance the most. The third set of problems is what I call the COI problem. And the COI problem is an interesting one. So over my years of banking, I had plenty of center of influence contacts out in the marketplace, whether they were CPAs, attorneys, or consultants, and we all kind of knew each other. And sometimes it was we were connected through one particular industry or another, or we had clients in common, or whatever the case may be. But from time to time, we would all get asked by our business clients if we knew someone in a different field that could help them. Often that was because they would trust us and trust our opinion, and they knew that we knew their business inside and out and would probably have a good idea of where they would fit the best. That's a great way of getting business done, and it helps everybody involved. It helps to build trust around the whole thing, and often we would refer to ask business owners who's at their breakfast table. Is it their CPA, their attorney, their banker, and maybe their insurance person? When a business has the right set of folks at the breakfast table, then a lot of good things can happen for a business. So, but where that breaks down is that sometimes CPA firms and law firms would have policies against making such referrals, just because there's really no upside to it. There's only downside risk. What if that bank doesn't perform? What if that banker doesn't do what they say they can do? Often that would come back to the individual that made that referral, and by extension, the firm. The other problem is that of those folks at the business tables, the ones that move around and experience the most change are the bankers and the banks. Bankers these days are very mobile. They move here and there. They're kind of sought after, I suppose, just because of the nature of how many banks there are in the U.S., and they're always moving around, entering new markets and so on, and trying to find experienced bankers. So there's always a market, so they're moving around quite a bit. The other thing is that banks are always in acquisition mode. They're either looking to buy new banks, or they're looking to be sold. That's just the reality of it, and you don't have to look very far in history to see that that's a pretty prevalent thing that happens. So that's problematic for a CPA firm or an attorney or a consultant, in that they could make a referral, and the very next day the banker could be gone, or the bank could be gone, or the bank could be distracted with an acquisition they're making. Or it could be just as simple as the bank's appetite for credit or certain industries changes so rapidly these days that you could refer a business customer over one day and everything be fine, and then the next day not. And then we get back to the whole issue of the reputational risk associated with making such a referral. Is that, hey, I thought you said this was a good bank and a good banker. Well, it's cost me this amount of time and energy and so on, and they didn't do what they were saying they were going to do. So we're trying to solve that problem there. So our solutions are that, if you think about it for 1099 bankers, we're still bankers, but you can feel comfortable that you're actually referring your business customer to the industry versus to a specific person or to a specific bank. And we're on top of where the bankers are, what appetite specific types of banks may have. And so you're just referring your client to somebody or to a firm that really knows the industry well and has no affiliation with any particular part of that industry. So we can take a very objective look at your client's financials and figure out exactly where they belong, where they fit today, and run a competitive process for them so that they end up with an optimal situation. We do charge a fee for that, but 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, the way that we run our competitive process, the end result, the difference between if they had done it themselves or if we take care of it for them or help them along the way, more than pays for itself. So there's that. Along those lines is that, our independence, our lack of affiliation, or a lack of payment from any financial institution really does take down the possibility that there's any hidden agenda there or any kind of connection that could come back and make your firm not look so hot. So we work specifically and solely for our clients. We're always very happy and pleased to have our COIs stay in the loop, and we're always very grateful to them. But at the end of the day, the relationship is only between 1099 bankers and that company. And we are 100% motivated solely by the success that we help our customers achieve. And so I guess the last part of that is just, and maybe it's wraps up the whole thing, is that it really protects your reputation. It allows you to refer your customers to a reputable source of people that you know who have all the experience that's needed. All of our bankers have some level of credit training, and we are not in the business of selling ancillary banking products like all bankers are today. And our network is such that we are connected with people who can make decisions in banks so that when we run a process, anybody that's dragging their feet or taking too long or ends up being someone that really can't help the process forward immediately falls out of that process. And we just keep moving along for the clients. So with that, I would care to wager or make a bet that if you're watching this video, there's probably a handful of folks in the back of your mind going, you know what, they're complaining about their bank all the time, or they have this project coming up, and I know that the bank they're working with is either too big or too small to be able to handle that, or whatever the case may be. But if you do have any of those folks in mind, feel free to give me a call. The phone number is at our website. You can also use the button that our clients use to book a consultation. You can use that to book some time with me or one of the bankers on the team there. And I believe we've actually put in a process on the website as well where our COIs can just fill out a quick form, and that'll come to us, and we'll be in touch with you and can further explain how we may be able to handle your client the way that you would handle them. So with that, I hope you learned something, and I hope that we can work together soon on solving some of the problems that our small to medium-sized businesses face these days. Thank you very much.